There you go. You're moving now. This meeting is being live streamed. Got it. Okay.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone on Women of Light Movement and on YouTube. Wednesday Wisdom again today, and I'm looking a little bit haggard actually. I just looked at, I couldn't sleep last night. I don't know if it was the moon or what it was, but I couldn't sleep very well last night. I had some great ideas for somebody else's business, and so they were just going over and over in my mind. So I sort of shared a bit of it with them during the day, and then last night I just was coming up with all of these ideas. It's amazing what's happening on the planet at the moment. So here we are with Donna-Leigh. Good morning, Donna-Leigh. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for having me live on your show, on your group.
So Donna-Leigh, this morning we're actually talking about resilience and trauma and a few other things, but can we just, where are you at the moment, like location wise?
Okay, so I'm in the southeast end of the Gold Coast, so Tugun, which is actually right on the border, and it's amazing how this border closure affects us locally here, because a lot of people either are working in Tweed or they're working in Coolangatta and living in Tweed. So having this border closure has been an enormous challenge for people locally here.
I can imagine. So are they able to get to work or?
Yes, well, you have to be vaccinated now, or at least have the first vaccination to cross the border.
Yeah, wow.
Mm.
Yes, well, we won't go there, will we? not at the moment. We have brought that up a couple of times in Spiritual Bites that we do on a Monday morning. So, but there's just, it's craziness going on in the world at the moment.
Yes.
So what a great topic to talk about, resilience. So can you tell us a little bit about you and why this topic, resilience?
Yes. Well, it's a very interesting one, and you know, I am always encouraging people to believe in their own resilience within, and that we all have resilience, and especially in this difficult time right now, you know, over the last kind of 18 months or so with COVID, we have all dealt with our own personal challenges and adversity, and so believing that we have resilience within and tapping into that is such an important, you know, internal belief and, you know, value, I guess, that we need to hold on to. And so I've had quite a interesting, colourful life, and as a child, I faced much adversity that no child should ever have to face. And I believe that these challenges that I was faced with really were all part of my journey, part of my dharma, I guess you could say, that has enabled me to learn lessons and now being able to pass those on to others, and in the way of public speaking on stages around the world, through my books, my children's series, The Adventures of Jessie and Rocky Rockstar, and also through my children's entertainment show, The Resilient Rockstar, which I take to like primary schools and young children. So, you know, I think as much as you go through, you face these difficult times in your life, and, you know, you part of you sort of has this message, why me? Why does this all have to happen to me? But if you embrace the lessons and you know that these things are happening for a reason and that there's some learning that's coming out of this, then it's a gift. And if we can embrace that as a gift and say, well, okay, I needed to learn that so that I could grow and be a better person, and also to be able to help somebody else, then, you know, that's an amazing part of our journey, really. So,
absolutely.
Let me take you back to August 1973, when I was only 7 years old, and I woke one early morning to the piercing screams of my mum, and I jumped out of bed and ran out to the hallway and heard my father yelling and swearing as he chased my mum down the staircase with a knife. And sadly, as my mum was reaching for the handle of the sliding door to try and escape away from my father, she was killed.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and sadly, myself and my siblings all witnessed this firsthand. So my mum sort of stumbled to the along the side path and fell to the ground in the front of the house and took her last breath. And within seconds, all I remember is crowds of people around me and sirens and watching my father's cold eyes staring at me in the back of a police car as he drove away. And from that moment, as you can imagine, my life completely changed forever. So,
yeah, really hard for a 7-year-old, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just, really so traumatizing. And so kind of cutting a very, a long story short, we were all separated, my twin brother and my older brothers and my sister, and we were.
How many kids were there?
There were 5 of us, so
Yeah.
I've got 4 siblings, and we were all separated and put into foster homes. And there were 13 foster homes I went to over a period of nearly 6 years. And we were, as you can imagine, we were moved and pillared, and I was living out of a rubbish bag. And most of these foster homes were abusive.
I know, because I was just going to say at that stage, there wasn't a lot of the rules and regulations that there are now. I've got friends that also around that time were in foster homes, and they weren't from the nicest people, right? So
no. So there were alcoholics, and it wouldn't surprise me if they were pedophiles. I mean, all kinds of people made up these. I don't know what their motivation was, whether it was money but certainly it wasn't coming from a compassionate, nurturing, outlook anyway. So the time in foster homes was also very traumatic, and I also attended 13 schools, and so I never felt a sense of belonging to any kind of friendship group or anything like that. And I guess being traumatized, I acted differently, I behaved differently, I looked differently, probably my clothes were different. And so I was a target for bullies as well. So, I'd go to school and I'd be bullied, I'd come home and there would be abuse. And then, within months, you'd just be told to pack your things into a rubbish bag and you're going to another school, another home. And there was never any reason for it. It was just that was just what you had to do. And so you just got on with it, and it just was a natural part of life. And I recall the last foster home I was at, the authorities came to the house and put a very difficult decision to me when I was only 12 years old. And he said to me, Donna, you've got 2 choices. You can stay in foster care till you're 18 and free to leave, or you can return to your father who's been released from prison. The most difficult part of this decision was that we were to return back to the home where he had murdered our mum.
wow, and decision at 12. Wow.
Decision no 12-year-old should ever have to make.
No.
So it was 2 pretty bad choices, and I really struggled with that decision, but I decided to go back to my father because I would be reunited with my siblings again. And no matter how dysfunctional that family looked like, it was still a family. And there was a sense of, I guess, staying in one place, and instead of moving constantly and not feeling any sort of belonging or any family kind of, feeling of being part of something. So I decided to go back, and that was another, another experience of trauma for the next kind of 5 years. So my father was an alcoholic. He was schizophrenic and also pro-Nazi. So you can imagine the unpredictability of living with a man with those kind of disorders. And so my siblings and I, we pretty much had a survival plan on a daily basis, living with him, and we knew what he was capable of. So, life was incredibly unstable, uncertain, and, walking on eggshells.
So how does someone, so that's 5 years. So, so pretty much your formative years have been, total upheaval, violence, unpredictability, as you said. So, how does someone create resilience without, from that devastation? Do you think that is actually within you? Because there's so many that could tell that story, not on here, because they're either they've gone by themselves, or they're still in that cycle. How do you feel someone has one story where they just get sucked down the rabbit hole, and somebody else can shift out of that and create the life that, where you're now sharing those experiences and with others and shifting people's, kids' worlds with your books?
It's certainly been a process, and, lots of healing and lots of work on myself over a period of, a significant amount of time. But yes, there was a decade pretty much of trauma in my life. And so, yes, I do believe we all have resilience within us. I don't think it's unique to one person or one. I think it is an ability that we have available to each and every one of us to tap into. And it's so much about our own belief and our own upbringing and our limiting beliefs that are, often put upon us. So,
when do you feel that shifted for you? What age were you where you started realizing? I mean, I suppose it's not just one dawning, right? I know through my own awakening of my own spiritual development or personal development that it's layers and layers and layers. But do you remember any specific time that you went, I need to get this, F out of here?
Absolutely. Yes. So my father drank himself to death pretty much when I was 17. So he'd already had one triple bypass surgery, and he was on the operating theatre for his second triple bypass. So he never looked after himself. He just drank. And so he died when I was 17. And that was quite a pivotal moment. I had this experience of feeling relief and also feeling grief. And there was, obviously this kind of real sense of, oh my God, he's no longer in my life now. I'm no longer kind of walking on eggshells and scared and worried for my own sort of safety. But then there was an aspect of grieving the loss of a father I wish I had. And so it was quite a process. And at this time too, for quite a few years, I was numbing my pain with drugs and alcohol. So my father would actually buy me alcohol as a way to justify his own drinking habit. So all my friends thought that was really cool, that I was able to just, have alcohol and supply them alcohol and that kind of thing. But obviously we know that those are all things that are, are not healthy at all. But so there was a time where when my father passed away, and I had to survive, and I left school and I had to get a job. And during this time, I'd taken a job in a haberdashery shop, and I got the sack. And it was my first job, got the sack. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is all not good. Like, my life is really going down a dark path. I'm taking marijuana on quite a regular basis. I'm drinking, and I don't have any sense of purpose in my life. What's going on? And I remember one night just being really down, and I rang Lifeline, and I spoke to the woman on Lifeline for probably nearly an hour. And I remember her saying to me, there's a lot of stuff here. I think it would be really worth your while to come in and speak with a face-to-face counsellor. And so I decided to do that. And within about 12 months of sort of working with a counsellor, they encouraged me to do the training and become a counsellor myself. And that was an amazing journey. So I ended up doing the Lifeline course and the suicide prevention training, and became a volunteer on the phones in Sydney for 2 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it was amazing, that moment where, I was able to help others because of my experience, and also understand your kind of, your triggers yourself. And that sort of started my grateful healing, I call it, this moment of just kind of really immersing in lots of different modalities. And so, and
including some kids' books, right? So
yes, so moving forward, probably a good 15 years, I became a mum and everything, and then I met Michael Bennett, who is an international international comedian, and I shared my story with him, and he was just blown away. He said, "Wow, I can't believe that you have been through this stuff, and you're so vibrant, and you're so happy and positive and energetic. You need to share your story with others. You need to be on the stage sharing your story." And this was when we kind of developed the Dream Guard show. And I came up with these amazing peace tools to help kids stand up to bullying in a positive way. And they actually came to me in a meditation. And these transformational peace tools have changed lives, have saved lives. People have reached out to me, teenagers and parents, kids that have been suicidal, and it's had a significant impact on people's lives. And
yeah, that's beautiful.
So it's just been an incredible journey, and I'd only just probably shared my story with 5 people before I shared it with Michael, and he inspired me to start sharing it on a bigger scale. And so it's been an incredible journey of growth. And even last year I did some NLP therapy and timeline therapy, and I ended up going and doing the course and becoming an NLP practitioner. And I found that modality to be just transformational, shifting from limiting beliefs in your timeline. And, this really holds us back in a massive way, just allowing our limiting beliefs to guide where we're going to go in our life. And, this is all sort of set in our timeline, even from generations before. So it's quite profound. And so I speak about, natural ways to improve our mental health, because I believe now more than ever, we really need to be implementing this into our daily practice.
Oh, absolutely.
Natural ways we can do it. It doesn't cost a cent, just getting out in the sunshine, vitamin D, exercise, and one of the things I love to do is skipping. And I'm talking about skipping down the street, like we used to do when we were little girls and boys. And, I share this on the stage, and, I believe that the skip is, it's a double dose of dopamine. It's a beautiful thing because it brings out the child in you when you skip. And
I was just feeling into it as you said, and I thought, gee, I can't remember the last time I skipped myself. So it's now something I'll be doing down the street.
Yeah. And it's just so beautiful, because I've had people like you say that and go, you know what, Donna, I'm skipping now. I'm skipping when I go to the beach. And what happens is when you skip, you can't help but smile and laugh. And people that see you skip smile and laugh too. So you're connecting the community through a double dose of dopamine, and I just think it's a beautiful connection.
So good. And you're also part of a movement that you were just telling me about before we jumped on. So what is it's a global gratitude movement, I think you called it. Yeah.
Yes, it's a global gratitude chain movement, and this started with actually a 14-year-old girl in year 9 that was being relentlessly bullied for 9 months, and she was suicidal. And her family reached out to me in a very desperate situation one Saturday night and asked for my help. And so I spent a number of hours with this girl on Sunday morning, and I shared my story with her. And I remember, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It's just incredible. This is another defining moment in my life, where this girl, when I'd finished sharing my story with her, she walked over to me and hugged me and said, "Oh my God, if you have been through all of that and you have been able to get through that, I can get through what I am facing in my life now." And she, a few weeks later, volunteered at one of our Dream Guards of community events. And one of the little activities we had at this community event was writing down what you're grateful for on a piece of paper, colored paper. I'm grateful for, my breath, whatever it is that you're grateful for. And she, during this time, event, she started to link these gratitude, expressions together into a chain, like the Christmas chains we used to make when we were kids. Yeah. And she put it around her neck, just as I am now. And she was just standing at the table, and people were writing these links, and that became this amazing global movement. And so people from all over the world have been writing links on trains, in movie theaters, on buses, in schools. We have had whole schools, hundreds of students come on board and write down what they're grateful for and send these links to me. And I started to create this chain, and it just became ridiculous because I've got huge tubs of this. And now it is 4.5 football fields long, if you can imagine. So thousands and thousands of links from, America, Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, you name it, I've had links. And it's just beautiful. So it's just people taking a mindful moment to stop and think about what they're grateful for in their life and connecting it to this global gratitude chain movement. And we know that scientific research now has proven that gratitude alone, practicing gratitude each and every day, actually improves our happiness by 25%.
Wow, that's so beautiful. That's fantastic. That is amazing. Yeah. And so to start with, I would invite everyone that's watching. I hope we've got some comments going on in there. We can't see the comments on our live stream at the moment, but if you're watching the replay, wherever you're watching, I really invite you to spend a moment to get some paper. And how do people get in contact with you, Donna-Leigh, if we wanted to reach out? Actually, I'd love for you to put the links so that people can get in contact with you in the comments on our Facebook group.
Yes.
And we'll actually add them to the YouTube as well. So do you have a Facebook group about the gratitude? You do? Awesome.
Yes, we have a Facebook page. I think there's a couple of thousand on there. And we've also got an Instagram. And, the big plan for this was actually to take it on Ellen DeGeneres' show in 2020. But, of course, with COVID, everything changed. So now it's Oprah. So if anybody has a connection to Oprah, we need to get this chain on the Oprah Winfrey show or get it in front of her, because, it's a beautiful thing that's connecting the world through gratitude. And improving people's mental health around the world, which is so significant and important right now. So I'll put the links in for the Global Gratitude Chain Facebook page and Instagram, and people can then reach out to me and share their gratitude, and I can write it on the link for them, or they can write their own link and send it in to me, post it into me.
Awesome. And also we can get in contact with you about your books for kids.
Yes. Yes.
All of the above.
So in the back of my books, so the children's books, Puppy Rescue and Tiger, these are children's books about my rescue dog and my daughter, and the life lessons he teaches her about compassion and kindness. And in the back of the books is a life-saving app, and it's called Dream Guards, and you can download this app for free. So it has 13 life-saving support services on it. So we have Kids Helpline, we have Lifeline, we have e-Safety Commissioner if you're getting bullied online, Men's Line, a domestic violence respect line. So 13 life-saving support services. So it may be just in a moment where you are having a conversation with somebody who is really struggling with their mental health, and you can reach into your back pocket, into your phone, and you know that you've got this app on your phone that you can share with somebody that may need it. It may not be you, but it may be somebody that you're having that conversation with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meditations on there too, and you know, powerful mindset videos. So there's a lot of value in this app, and they're available also on the back of my books.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's such a beautiful opportunity for everyone, and it's just so lovely to connect with you. What a woman of light you are.
Well, thank you.
It's so nice to you know, to see someone go through so much diversity and, you know, contrast in their childhood, to push through that and to shine their light anyway, regardless, you know. And I just really want to honor you for everything that you've done and are, and everything that you're doing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Take care, and if you're watching on any of our channels, please get in contact with Donna. Please get in and look at the books, and you know, buy the books so that you can share them with the community. I know I'll be buying them for my nephews and my niece. So take care, Donna-Leigh. Love to everyone on here. We'll speak soon.
Thank you very much. Peace out.